I learned quickly during my graduate studies that typing was very important. Regardless of whether I was feeling confident, full of doubt, whether the ideas floating around in my head seemed promising or flat, as long as I was typing, I was making some sort of progress towards finishing my paper. There would be edits, there would be deletions, but at any rate, I had something to work with. The chasm between what is going on in my head and what I'm actually doing is never as evident to me as when I'm worrying about money. And as a general rule, I worry about all things financial. And while I've accepted this as, to a certain degree, the dark side of me being a planner, it has an especially destabilizing effect when this time of year rolls around and we're asked to give our commitments to the church. Are my husband and I giving enough? Are we giving too much? I want to be Christ-like, but he had barely any possessions, and that's a tough bar to clear. I'm not making light of this, but he ascended into heaven at 33, and I'm hoping to retire at 65. How do I reconcile his example with my realities? Honestly, I still don't know how to quiet the worrying in my head, but I do know that giving is good for my husband and I, and maybe especially for me. It's not that tithing grants me perfect peace by revealing the abundance of what God has given us, though there's some of that. Instead, giving to St. James is a concrete action we can do as a part of this community of faith. It's like typing. It doesn't really matter what's going on in my head, but once we're able to get that act out into the world, we've got something to work with. The work of St. James is a vital part of the spiritual life of both my husband and myself. It's our church home. We take part in the programs. We have made friends here who are dear to us. We look to the clergy for wise counsel and spiritual guidance, and we depend on this 6 p.m. Sunday service to send us out into the week with renewed patience and faith. Yes, our tithe contributes concretely to the work of the clergy and staff at St. James. But as importantly for us, the giving of our tithe is part of the work that the church does for us. Our tithe is not a payment for services rendered. It's not because we respect Brenda, Zack, Ava, James, and Jay that we tithe. Instead, tithing is an opportunity for my husband and I to step out in faith. And this is why, year after year, my husband is able to suffer through my worrying as we make our pledge for the year. Year after year, God sustains us, and we discover yet again that making the decision to give a portion of our earthly earnings to the church is an act that, once it's out in the world, God can work with. And while I sometimes wonder if the amount we give can make any measurable difference in the work that St. James does for others, I know that the act of giving itself is an important part of the work that the church is doing for me. As we move towards Consecration Sunday on November 14th, each of us will be thoughtfully considering our answer to the spiritual question, what percentage of my income is God calling me to give? On November 14th, together in worship, we will set apart our money, ourselves, and our whole lives to God's holy purposes. There will be a festive and safe gathering after each of the 9, 10, 11, 15, and 6 p.m. services, and we hope you will join us. Please take out the Grow One Step sheet in your worship bulletin. And for those watching from home, it was included in the PDF of today's worship service. Turn to the stair step side of the sheet and grab the pen that should be on the pew next to you. I'm going to have you write in some numbers here, and we're going to start at the bottom left side, at that step that says $1 to $14 a week. I'd like you to write the number 80 there, which is perhaps $1 to $14, the cost of 2 very expensive cups of coffee at Ralph's across the street, or maybe even better yet, a ticket to see the Statue of Liberty. On the next level up, $15 to $24, I'd like you to write the number 37. 37 parishioners give $15 to $24 a week, which might be a delivery from Sweet Green or an outdoor coffee with a friend if you're treating. Let's keep going up these steps. 58 people give between $25 and $49 a week, which might be a bill for a streaming service depending on how many family members are included. 43 people give between $50 and $74 a week. 20 give between $75 and $99. 88 give between $100 and $299 a week. 21 give between $300 and $499. 6 give between $500 and $749. Another 6 giving between $750 and $1,249 a week. 3 people are able to give $1,250 to $1,999 a week, and 2 people are even able to give between $2,000 and $4,099 a week. Now, please turn over that sheet for me and look at the chart on the back. Let your eyes go down the left-hand side of the scale until you come to your approximate annual income level. Now, please move your eyes across to the weekly giving level to God's work through our congregation. Now, move your eyes up to the top of the sheet to locate the percentage of your income that gift represents. I hope that as we go through this process as a church, you will put aside any distractions and join me in prayer to ask the question, what percentage of my income is God calling me to give to God through his work at St. James? Thank you, and see you on November 14th, Consecration Sunday.
Thank you so much, Zack, for sharing your own experience and for helping us to see a larger picture of giving in our life at St. James.